welcome to our incredible house. This isn't actually Ellie, in case you didn't notice. If you are a bit lost, we recommend you go back and watch last week's episode where we stayed at Ardcana. And yeah, we decided just to film it in this incredible environment because this is the most luxurious place we've ever been to.
So this week we're kicking off our 10k Q&A. Still can't believe we hit 10k, and actually since then we're now at 11k, which is amazing. So we're really excited to answer these questions. It's been a while since we've done one of these.
A long while actually, last time we were back in Guernsey. Before we go any further however, Slanjivar to everyone, to good health, cheers. Calls for a celebration.
Absolutely. We have a lot of new faces here since we last did a Q&A, and I'm sure there's a lot of you that are wanting to know our backstory, what we've been up to, what our future plans are, so shall we just get stuck in?
We're Gemma and Campbell, obviously. For any new people around here, welcome to the gang, and we're so happy to have you here, and thank you for taking the time for putting up with that stupid intro sequence that we just did. It was all Gemma's idea, I had nothing to do with it.
Anyway, we are currently touring around Scotland in our motorhome Ellie, which we got back in July last year. Going back a little bit further, we started travelling in 2018, and that was when we officially quit our jobs to travel. Since then we've been all across Europe, Asia, Australia, and then came back where we planned to only stay for 3 months, and we got stuck on the island of Guernsey during the year of 2020 and half of 2021, which has brought us back to Scotland, and that is why we are now touring around our beautiful home country in our motorhome Ellie.
Now over the last 7 months since we came back to Scotland, we've actually fallen so in love with just the culture and being back home and the scenery, and we've also been loving it because we've been able to develop such a unique and engaging and kind and supportive community, just like yourself who are watching this video, because we've done so much since we actually came back, from buying a van to touring around to really growing our YouTube community and launching our first book, which was a blinding success. We've actually almost just sold 1,000 copies now. When this goes live, we probably will have sold 1,000, which is mind-blowing. Yeah. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts, like we keep saying it, but thank you for all the support. We are so excited to actually take the questions because we've been blown away even just by how many questions we got. Like literally they were flying in. We were expecting to have to make up our own questions about like what's our favourite kind of condiment and stuff like that, but you have not disappointed us in the questions that we've got, and we're so excited to get stuck into them.
So,
do you want to go first? So we're going to do it we're going to split it in half, and Gemma's going to read me some that I've never heard before, and I'm going to read Gemma some that we've never heard before. Yep. And we're just going to do them completely off the cuff, because that's usually when the most disastrous things happen, so that's always the most entertaining. Alright, question number one.
Right, question number one. Would you recommend van life, and how long do you plan on vanning it for?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
like
100%.
We grew up kind of in caravan holidays with our families, and it's just the only way to travel, I think. Just the freedom that it gives you. I would recommend it to anyone to at least try it for a week.
I think especially like being in a van or a motorhome where you can just literally drive, pull in, park up and admire the view, and you can stay in somewhere like so much longer as well if you've got the time to do that. Like there's not that excessive cost of staying in accommodation, that you can actually have the freedom to just
kind of wing it and go with it. So yeah, absolutely. How long would we plan on doing it for? That's to be determined. Like as I said, we bought Ellie back in July. We'd actually originally only planned to, I guess, keep her for 12 months until we finished Destination NC 500. But since it's been such a blinding success, we're already planning the next book. We're going to not tell you what it is just yet, because we don't even know actually. We've got about 5 books we want to write, so we'll see which one comes to fruition first. And then we were planning on selling her and going international. Obviously, now we can't do that because we love her. So we'll probably live in her for forever. I think we'll be 90 years old, the appropriate motorhome owner age, and we'll still be owning her.
So the next one, how do you survive in terms of income if you guys don't earn?
It was savings before we started earning. Like as of probably October last year, we actually started to earn like a manageable income, so a sustainable level of income, and it was through.
Since then it was just dribs and drabs before that, wasn't
exactly.
Really,
so we started Highlands to Hammocks about 3 years ago, and it's been more of a hobby or anything else since then. We were getting like £100 a month here and there. And then last October, as I said, it started to develop into something a bit more, and we can comfortably live off of that now, still on a tight budget.
Yeah, but how we earn our income now is through our book sales, brand partnerships, on our website, like advertising networks and YouTube channel as well. And that is like our main sources of income. But as Campbell says, that we have to like budget each month, because not every month will be the same. Every month will be completely different. We live within our means very much. Ooh, what's the must-dos if you only have 2 days on the Isle of Skye?
Oh,
Old Manor Store.
Old Manor Store, the Trotternish Peninsula basically, that's where everyone always goes. Old Manor Store, Kilt Rock, Cwthrang, basically all of the things that we did in the last 2 weeks videos. So if you're interested in that, go and check out those 2 videos because they were very good.
And everyone always says the fairy pools, and the fairy pools are really magical, so yeah, definitely go there. Where do you wash your clothes, and is it expensive? In the sink. In Ellie, we make the most of the sink when we're topping up water. That's usually when I'll do a little clothes wash. Campbell will jump out and fill up the water, I'll jump in the back, chuck everything in the sink, scrub all the clothes and hang them up. Kind of been going home a little bit more frequently over the past couple of months, so we've had access to washing machines at home, which has been really good. But when we're on the road long term and we need to do a big wash, we usually use the Laundry Revolutions, which you can find at like jet garages and things. They are really handy because Scotland doesn't have as many like laundrettes, or it's not as like easy. Like when we were vanning it in Australia, we used laundrettes like every week. They were amazing. Yeah, but that's not as easy here, so will Scotland be much more vibrant during summer? We definitely hope it won't be as wet and windy as it is today.
It is, it's beautiful.
It is really.
May to June, April, May, June are the best months. After that you kind of get the summer rains, and then it comes into autumn, and it's just, and just now it's just rains 6 out of every 7 days, and it is a lot better in summer, and it's very beautiful.
Where do you initially start looking when thinking about van life, books or podcasts? I would say if you're thinking about starting van life, go to YouTube and just like try and find some people on YouTube that are not necessarily selling you the dream, because I will like be honest, it's not always like that dreamy kind of
parking up by a beautiful beach, and you know, the channels we would recommend for like keeping it real and just kind of showing like a really good entertaining side of van life about what you can expect is like Kind of Wandering Home, and also we love Tread the Globe as well, so they're in Europe, like, so 3 good channels you should check out.
Oh, the story of you both meeting each other.
Oh, I love this story. It's a good one. Like, basically we knew of each other. We went to the same high school. Gemma was in the year below me, and basically we had like similar friends. And it was until the year after you left high school, so I was going into my second year of uni, you just started university, and we were going to a nightclub together, and then we had a similar friendship group, so my pals were there, Gemma's pals were there, and one of Gemma's pals went missing. I wouldn't name her.
She left the nightclub, basically.
Yeah, I wouldn't name her because she's probably mortified, but she left the nightclub. I don't know, I think she was chasing dogs in the street or something like that.
Yeah, so I had to go and find her, and I was trying to find somebody to tell I need to leave, and Campbell looked at me lovingly and said, do you want me to come with you? Which I obviously said, yes, if you want. So that was it. We went out strolling the streets trying to find her, and conversation started from there, really, didn't it?
Basically texted her next morning and she was just hooked, couldn't get rid of her after that.
Plans for the future and in life and in travel.
Can we start with plans for next week? Because I don't even know what they are.
Tomorrow, I don't even know.
We're thinking like broad spectrum, we're thinking 2022 UK. Like, we really want to spend as much time around the UK, and that's like, we've still got a lot of Scotland we want to actually see, including like the Outer Hebrides and Orkney possibly, and then also just like the borders and stuff like that, places that we've not spent any time. And then we've also got Ireland. We really want to go to Ireland. We're thinking we possibly will be going to Ireland, fingers crossed, during the summer. And then obviously Wales and England as well. And there's just so much to see. 2023 we're thinking Europe, basically. Once everything calms down, once we can reliably travel a bit more, we're hoping that we should be able to get across to mainland Europe. And then long term, I'm going to throw it out there because it's something we always talk about and we dream about, is one day we would like to own our own kind of property. Now, whether that's like a campsite, glamping site, Airbnb, something that we can build and pour our heart and soul into. Somewhere like this, basically, because we've got so many ideas rattling around in our head about what makes a good kind of accommodation for van lifers and for travellers, because we've been to so many unique and beautiful places around the world. We really want to pour that into something, and so if you would come and stay at a place that we've built, and let us know in the comments and give us a wee push.
Would you ever get a van dog?
Yes. Like, Gemma's got a dog.
Yeah, and we talk about this a lot, don't we? I end up looking on like the Dogs Trust and all sorts of things all the time. It's
just international. We want to go to international. I want to go back to Australia, Bali, Fiji, and if we have a dog, obviously we're a lot more restricted. We did say 2024, maybe. I turned 30. Maybe a wee 30th dog. Who knows?
What one piece of advice would you give someone who wanted to travel?
Go for it. go for it.
Yeah.
Come up with a plan, save up some money, and just do it. There's never one thing we realised, and one thing that we kind of did last summer was just take the leap.
Yeah.
Like there's never a perfect time. We were in Guernsey and we were always just sitting there saying, oh, let's just work another month, or let's just do another 2 months, or let's just get our savings up to this level, and then we'll quit, and then we'll quit. We said that for about a year, until eventually we were just like, enough is enough. You can never have enough money to do what you want to do, so just do it and find a way. And if it falls through, the worst thing that happens is you're on your arse back where you started with a good story to tell. So it doesn't matter.
And I'm sure you'll have an amazing time anyway.
Exactly.
Right, what's the one place in the world you'd recommend everyone should visit?
Bali is always my home from home. It was amazing. We spent 2 years there. 2 years, I wish. 2 months there, and it just feels familiar to us. Like it's just a big play park basically. It's full of adventure.
I would also say travel around Australia in a van, because we just absolutely loved that. And with freedom and just so remote, like you can literally drive all day, not even drive by another car. So I think Bali and Australia.
Definitely.
What's your favourite thing about Ellie the camper van? Size. We have so much room to move around, do little workouts.
Jump. I can stand up and actually jump without hitting my head. And we feel proper smug, not gonna lie. We do feel proper smug in our mansion on wheels.
Right, what's your favourite place in Guernsey?
Ooh, well, we've got the beaches. The thing about Guernsey is southern coast is all cliffs. Then you run over to the west coast, sunsets at like Vazon Bay. Incredible.
Beautiful.
The coastline, I guess I would say, is my favourite place.
Will you be coming back to Guernsey one day? It's not the same without you. Yes, we'll be back one day. We don't know when, but we will come back soon.
When we need new tech, because you get VAT-free purchases over there, so we'll pop over there and get all our camera equipment. What's
your favourite hot drink? For me, hot chocolate.
Coffee. It's going to be coffee one day, I can guarantee it.
What time do you go to bed in the evening and wake up in the morning? Normally that should be 9 we go to bed. And get up at 5:30. What's your favourite season and why? Spring.
Spring.
It's a good feeling, you know, summer's coming, longer days are coming, lots of baby animals. Spring's just a nice season, isn't it? What's your favourite Netflix series? We actually don't watch Netflix or own Netflix, but we have watched Black Mirror.
Black Mirror is my favourite Netflix series to watch on other people's Netflix accounts. I don't need to pay for it.
Do you have a television in your camper van motorhome? No.
We just got
an iPad.
Yeah, we just got a plasma screen iPad. We treated ourselves for Christmas.
And we just we'll watch things on YouTube or on catch-up TVs, or we also are hooked onto my parents' Sky and also Premier Sports, so we can watch things through that.
Watch the rugby.
Favourite time of the day? Ooh.
Lunchtime. Dinner time.
I'd possibly say sunrise.
Sunrise, yeah.
Least favourite job of van life? Emptying the toilet.
Oh, cleaning. I mean, honestly, I don't mind emptying the toilet as long as it's not exploded everywhere like happened last week, but just cleaning, it's never ending.
It's never ending.
Never ending.
Do you like going to be on holidays, or are you not fussed?
I love it. This is a holiday for us, I would say. I've been sitting behind my laptop basically all day, we've just been chilling out today, just trying to get this weekend's YouTube video ready, but it's still a holiday because we're in a different environment.
And also we have just booked flights to go to Malta, which is really exciting. We went there 6 years ago. 3 weeks. We fell in love with it and we can't wait to go back. I think we find it hard now to take a kind of proper holiday, relaxed break. So we're going to try our best to take one of those weeks as a holiday. And the other week we're going to be vlogging and taking you all around with us.
Just whenever I'm having fun,
what we do,
I want to be doing something like this, because then I can share it with all of you guys, and we love doing that.
What's your ways of relaxing in the evenings? Chilling out, fairy lights on.
Cup of tea, something on the iPad, and usually just offloading that day's footage or something like that.
Do you like jacuzzi? Yes, we love a jacuzzi. We love a hot tub.
If we can find a way to put one in the van.
I know. Inflatable on the back of her maybe.
That'd be good.
Do you have a set routine of each day? No.
No. Especially since we live in Scotland and we can come up with a plan for the week of what we want to achieve in that week, but then their weather forecast moves around and it's actually dry that day and then wet that day, and we're like, okay, we'll move the work day to that day and then that day's dry, and it just becomes a whole mess. So we basically try and highlight what we want to achieve in a week and then not set it to an actual day. So we just do it when we need to do it.
Right, I'm done with those ones if you want to go.
Oh, very good. Okay, so I've still not actually got my new glasses yet from when I lost them, so bear with me. Okay, next question, Jaffa Cakes or chocolate digestives?
100%
That's a
chocolate digestives.
very good question. Chocolate digestives. I've got to say, I've never been a huge Jaffa Cake fan. So where's your favourite place to go? In Scotland, I'd probably have to say Glencoe, just because we always forget how beautiful it is, and every time we go back there, everything's just so up.
And
it's just mind blowing every single time.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a Glencoe. Where would you like to travel outside of Scotland, Botland? I love that. I'll be coining that phrase a few times, Scotland, Botland.
Right now, I would possibly, if I had to go anywhere, I'd possibly go back to Fiji. Or to
Fiji.
area.
Somewhere I can actually go in the water and not sing like a choir.
Yeah.
What made you do van life in the first place? That's a good question. Yeah,
I think like we kind of grew up like
Yeah.
on caravan holidays and camping and tents and all that sort of thing. So it's always been something that we wanted to do, and we went to Australia actually when we were studying at uni.
Yeah.
And we met our friends out there and we travelled up the east coast in a camper van. That was a rented camper van. Then we went back out to Australia after we finished uni on a working holiday visa, and we bought our own van, converted it, and spent some time travelling around in the van. So then when we got back to Scotland, it was just
no-brainer, really.
no-brainer. We knew the freedom that it gave us, and it was just the perfect thing to do, really.
Do you have another job, or is travelling and blogging your job now? Technically yes, we still are registered with like healthcare agencies, which is what we were doing in Guernsey. Gemma's still a nurse, you're a registered nurse, so every 3 years Gemma has to do 3 months worth of nursing to keep her registration alive. And it's something that we plan on trying to do every now and again. If we ever need, like if we ever have a slow month, we can always dip back into that, top up the bank accounts, or if we just want a break and want to do something, you know, really rewarding and kind of different.
I think the good thing about it as well is if you ever get into like a rut with what you're doing, we can pick up shifts here and there and then go, all right, okay, like I'm really craving to get back to, you know, adventure and writing blog posts and whatever else that we're doing. So it's good to have it there in the background that we can pick it up when we need it or when we want to.
Coming on a road trip, van trip in March for 5 days, what would you recommend in 5 days? Oh, try not sleep. It would be a good recommendation there, to try and squeeze it all in. As I said, Glencoe, what I would recommend, right, get into Scotland, drive straight past Hadrian's Wall, don't bother about anything beneath that. Past Hadrian's Wall, past Glasgow, up Loch Lomond, stop off at Tarbert because we live there, top up your water, and then go straight up through Glencoe onto the Isle of Skye, because March will be a really good time for it, I think. That's where it's just coming out of the wet season, probably still a bit wet, but just coming out of it. Loch Ness, Fort William, and then Inverness, back down to Aviemore, and then possibly, if you've got time, do the Moray region, because it's really underrated. So what's your ratio of sites versus others? I'm guessing that's like non-sites. Since we got the van, we've only stayed on a campsite once that we've actually paid for, and we love it. Like, wild camping is just so much easier, and we wouldn't be able to stay on sites full time because it's too expensive.
And also winter they're closed.
What editing program do you use? We use Final Cut Pro because we've got MacBooks. How would you describe Guernsey and how would you describe Scotland? Like Guernsey, we absolutely love Guernsey. It's just
small, beautiful, lots of history, beautiful beaches,
safe,
lovely cliff walks, safe.
And Scotland is just rugged and wet and wild, and we love that. Absolutely love it. So much adventure. Is Scotland a great place for camper van living, or are there restrictions?
Scotland's actually really, really easy to be in a camper van. It's like perfect. Apart from the wet weather that can sometimes make it a bit difficult to get out and about, but
there's no laws against it or anything like that, and everyone is friendly. Don't believe what you see on Facebook, because that's the tiny minority.
And there's lots of places to dump your toilet. Loads of them popping up everywhere now, and top up water and things like that. It's really easy.
How many books have you sold? Almost 1,000, baby.
It will be 1,000 by the time this goes out.
And what's your favourite fast food restaurant? Nando's, definitely. Love Nando's. Is Guernsey your favourite place you've been to, and could you live there permanently? It's definitely one of our favourite places. I think it's just so safe and friendly. Couldn't live there permanently though. We just love to travel too much.
Yeah, and I think the sustainability of getting on and off the island is just, it wouldn't be sustainable to fly. Because you need to fly.
How long have you been together?
9 years.
9 years, almost double figures, man. And that's all of my questions.
Okay.
So this is the last batch.
Would you change the layout of your van? No. Ellie's like perfect. We knew what we wanted. We wanted a fixed bed. We wanted a living room area that was open and had the 2 seats to swivel around.
It just looks massive on the inside. So spacious.
Wouldn't change it. What's the most challenging part of van life for you? I've heard good and bad reviews from people trying it for holidays and full-time living, and they say that it's difficult. I
mean, we love the adventure that comes along beside it. Like, if you like to just relax in the evenings and have a set schedule and, don't have to worry about anything, like, van life's definitely not for you. But the stuff of like trying to find a park up, trying to find water, trying to find toilet disposal, and just generally trying to find like places that we're allowed to actually live. That we just love that kind of adventure, and that's what keeps us going.
You're constantly like thinking about it. One of the things that I find really challenging, I have really noticed it in the last few weeks of travelling because it's been so wet, it's just keeping stuff dry in the van. Like we want to get out and about, move our bodies, get out in the hills, get out for walks. And we went out recently to the Lost Valley. My jacket was soaking for like a week. I could not get it dry, and it was cold all the time. It was just, it's really difficult for like that kind of thing when the weather's bad. Are you finding any issues with gas supplies?
No.
Not really.
Not.
A little bit, like occasionally, like the issues we're finding is that we're just going through it kind of quickly in winter with heating, but I guess that's to be expected.
We would just phone round a lot of places and we eventually find it, so it's not too much of a problem.
We have spoke about doing the refillable gas, but very expensive, and to be honest, we just have not had the time to even book Ellie in to do it. It's alright. What's your thoughts on composting toilets? Would you convert?
Oh, I would love to do that because you just bag it and bin it. It's just the thought of ripping it out and installing something is just a little bit nerve-wracking at the moment, so not just now.
Do you know if it's possible to install a small wood burner as a backup heat source? If so, would you consider it? That would be lovely.
That would be lovely.
Don't know how the insurance would go down with that, but I know that people do it.
Yeah, so I'm sure it would be possible.
How do you keep condensation out of your camper at this time of year?
No, we don't. Like, we really struggle.
Yeah.
Our front cupboard, if you follow us on Instagram, you'll have seen we basically had moss growing in the inside of it. But since then, what we've done is put like a packet of salt in it with holes in the top, and that seems to be doing a really good job.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that to anyone. And dehumidifiers as well.
When we open up again, would you like to do a tour of New Zealand?
Oh yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Hunt for the Wilder People has just inspired me so much. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, we've actually said once or twice that maybe we could ship Ellie across. Or drive across and then ship Ellie to Australia.
It's so difficult.
But very difficult, very expensive. So yeah, we'll maybe fly out and rent a van over there. Would you consider popping to Ireland? Yep, answered that before. Definitely this year we'll be back over to Ireland. We love it there and we want to do the Wild Atlantic. We want to do the Wild Atlantic way, so yeah. How do you find all the great places to visit in Scotland? Is it just local knowledge or do you use certain websites?
It's a bit of both, I would say. Like watching a lot of YouTube videos, looking on Instagram, and then just kind of word of mouth, like either ourselves or our families or our friends or just people that we chat to online recommending us places.
Blog posts and things,
There's loads of information on the internet.
What do you do if you get on each other's nerves?
Punch her in the face. We don't really.
We actually don't really get. I hate saying that because I feel like everybody thinks you're lying, but like as much as we're together 24/7, like we are also working at times. So like we'll sit with our headphones in and then we'll like come back together again at lunchtime and chat or whatever. So yeah, I mean, we worked on a farm together and lived in a van together. We were literally together 24/7 in Australia. So
we get used to it. It's the way I always look at it, is just we're on the same team, and if we're not on the same team, there's no point. So like we always look out for each other.
Yep. When you're going to visit Isle of Lewis and Harris, I live here. It's great for wild camping. That is so
That's
good to
really
hear.
good news.
So
I
good
thought
to
that
hear.
would actually be really difficult to camp in Lewis and Harris, just because I thought it would be no wild camping or whatever. So that's good news.
Good news.
If you know where, or if you know when is the best time to visit,
yes,
then let us know in the comments.
Because we're very aware that peak summer will possibly be busy, so we're like trying to work out when we're going to go. I'd love to know where you get your information, who to phone when emptying toilets and gas stockists. Where do you start with when you're far from home?
We use the app Park for Night basically, and that's got like all the information you need: where to get water, where you can dump toilet, where other people recommend you can do these things, and where you can park up. And it's just been a game changer, really.
And gas, we use Caller website. Tells you where. Easiest thing about van life and most challenging. Easiest is just like the freedom. It's just like you just roll with it. Yeah.
It's unlimited possibilities, which I guess is also the most challenging part, is just choosing where to go.
True.
Like, it's just how do we decide?
Would you ever think about doing a limited access tour of Scotland with some of your subscribers?
Oof.
I have never.
Would you be keen for that? I don't know. I'm having like major kind of imposter syndrome with the thought of that. I don't know why.
I know.
If people would actually want to listen to me rambling on, but yeah,
well, maybe.
I would love to.
That's something to think about.
We know the spots that we've been going to since kids, and yeah, we'd love to do something like that. Maybe one day.
If you could change one thing about van life, what would it be and why?
Kind of the perception of it, I guess. Like there's a lot of bad stick online just now, and what we try and do is educate and raise awareness about how to do it responsibly and try and beat that stigma, I guess.
Yeah. What do you wish you'd been told or warned about before becoming full-time van lifers, and therefore what nugget of advice would you pass on to a newbie?
I guess when you're buying the van, like when we bought Ellie, we thought she had like a split charge relay and all that kind of thing. Really just make sure you know what you're buying and make sure it's suitable for your needs before you buy it.
Because we had to install.
Yep. which was very expensive.
Oh, with the bad weather we've been having in Scotland, have you ever been concerned about being in the van in a storm and what would happen if the van was struck by lightning? I actually haven't thought about that.
Yeah,
but
it's been like a washing machine the past few nights, just rocking all the time. But I don't think being struck by lightning is anything to be concerned about, because you're in essentially a big Faraday cage, and it's more objects falling on you. So don't park beneath any big trees. Park beside a bush, because they break the wind but aren't going to crush your van.
Do you always plan your journeys? Did you let the road take you to the destination? Most of the time we let the road take us. We try to plan it, we plan things for these videos. Most of the time that ends up changing, and that's just what creates a storyline. So yeah. Alright, okay, last question. How do you iron your clothes?
Oh, don't get me started on that. Like, ironing is a conspiracy. It doesn't exist. You don't need to do it. Don't fall for it, guys. I've not ironed my clothes in about 10 years since I moved out of my parents' house, and I look fabulous. So
we don't iron.
Yeah, we don't.
Is it
basically.
noticeable?
Yeah. Please don't tell me it is.
So that is it. I don't know how long this has gone on for, but
thank you for sticking around.
Have to go because we are doing a live chat with our Patreon members right now, so that's exciting.
I know, I'm very excited for that. But if you did enjoy this Q&A, guys, let us know in the comments down below, because I'm sure we'll be doing another one in the future. Yeah. And if you're new around here and you want to see more of these beautiful faces, hit subscribe, and we'll see you guys again in the next one.
For more adventures.